Puggle country of origin, USA. The Puggle is the result of an original cross made in the 1980s between a Beagle female and a Pug male by breeder Wallace Havens, an American living in Wisconsin and considered the breed's creator. It is quite possible that such a hybridization has already taken place in the past in an accidental way, whether with an individual or a breeder, but Wallace Havens is the first to have organized such a reproduction in a voluntary and thoughtful way. His goal was then to create a dog combining the qualities of the Beagle and the Pug, while avoiding their main faults, such as the many health problems from which the latter can suffer. Even before the end of the decade, the Puggle was recognized by the American Canine Hybrid Club, ACHC. Then, at the beginning of the 2000s, the first puppies, of the first generation for the most part, that is to say simply resulting from a hybridization such as that carried out by Wallace Havens, were offered for sale. Since then, the popularity of this dog has continued to grow. Around 2005, the Puggle even became one of the most coveted hybrids of the time, visible in particular on the arms of Kelly Osbourne or Sylvester Stallone. To get a Puggle, you should always cross a female Beagle with a male Pug. The opposite was tried several times, but births are often complicated, because the Pug is smaller than the Beagle. The female Pug must therefore give birth to puppies that are often too large for her, which sometimes causes her death, or that of one or more puppies. Even today, a large part of the puppies offered are simply first generation, that is to say directly resulting from the marriage between a Beagle and a Pug. Individuals therefore have very disparate characteristics, sometimes even within the same litter. Some breeders also believe that this dog can only be the fruit of such a cross, and not for example of the union between two Puggles. However, matings between second-generation dogs or more are on the increase. There are indeed some farms that seek to truly work towards the development of a breed in its own right, with a work of selection and refining over several generations in order to achieve a homogeneous population both physically and behaviorally. However, the process is still in its infancy, and breeders following this logic do not necessarily agree on the exact direction to take. For the various canine organizations around the world, official acceptance, even if only partially, pending full and complete recognition, requires more generations and a more precise determination of the physical and psychological characteristics of the breed. Standards. Thus, whether it is for example the Fédération Cynologique Internationale, FCI, the American Kennel Club, AKC, a reference canine organization in the United States, or the prestigious British Kennel Club, no national or international organization wingspan recognizes the Puggle. The only ones that do are associations specializing in hybrid dogs, like the International Designer Canine Registry, IDCR, and the ACHC. In the United States, breeders are working on the creation of the Puggle Club of America, with the aim of establishing standards that all Puggle breeders should respect in order to operate a more harmonized selection work allowing to constitute a population more homogeneous. This would allow to hope in the long term for an acceptance of the Puggle by the reference organizations. However, in the immediate term, many breeders are not necessarily looking to go much further than breeding a Beagle and a Pug, then selling the resulting puppies. In the meantime, for lack of recognition, it is impossible to have statistics on the number of Puggles, whether in its country of origin or elsewhere in the world. We can nevertheless note that the number of breeders offering such dogs remains limited, even if they are found in many countries, including a handful in France, Belgium, Switzerland and Canada.